right, guys, welcome back to the Pulse of Willie and Al. How's it going today, Broseph?
Pretty good, man. I'm dog sitting again for a friend of mine for a couple days.
Cheating on my parents' dog, are you?
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah,
yeah. Her name is Xena, and yeah, she's a cutie. She's I think behind me, sleeping on the couch. So
amazing.
yeah, we just got back from a cold walk. It is like 15 degrees out here with the wind blowing,
Oh, nice and
and we had
brisk,
a,
baby.
and we had an ice storm yesterday. So
Awesome.
yeah, yeah, it's good old New England weather, baby.
That is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cold here. There's a prediction that it could snow tomorrow night for New Year's,
Ooh,
which
okay.
might be nice, but it's snow's kind of rare directly in the center of Istanbul. But
Sure.
yeah, but we're hanging in there, and we are back today with episode 107. Turn it up to 11,
Yeah.
which we're going to on some of these teams, right? And we might as well jump in with some of the NFL news. Like, first of all, just like wow, what a week it was in the NFL. Like absolutely crazy. Fantasy playoffs should be done as well. We'll talk a little bit about that. There's a lot to cover. Something I want to bring up, and I wasn't going to bring this up because I didn't want to give it any notice, but we need to talk about DK Metcalf. And I'm
Yeah.
not going to disparage him by using his government name. Well, we're really not going to talk about DK, but rather the fan that decided to have a press conference about this that looked like he basically rolled in from a midnight bender.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
and
yeah.
and yeah, he didn't have blue hair, but he had a backwards hat on, and I watched him stutter through what was, I mean, granted it was probably his first time doing a press conference, but to watch him go through and kind of explain that, I just wanted to scream bullshit as I heard it.
Yeah.
And I just got to ask you because now some information has started to come out of the incident that happened in Seattle. I'm sorry, when they were playing Detroit. This happened in Seattle before.
Yeah.
An
Yeah.
incident.
This happened last season too. The
Yeah.
fan, I
Mhm.
guess like the fan for and this I'm only what I know is like what I've read in the athletic.
Right.
And that like the fan said some pretty disparaging things about his mom and said some pretty disparaging things about DK Metcalf himself.
Hmm.
And it didn't come out and say this, but it was pretty implied that this guy sounds like he might have used he might have made some racist remarks.
Yeah, which is interesting because he stood up in front of America. I'm sorry, sat down in front of America with a lawyer and basically told them there's two things that he hates, and that's animal cruelty and racist. It really gets him hot. Which to me, again, I wanted to scream BS. But I just, I don't understand. I think there's something that needs to be said with like the harassment of players, where like
I agree.
the NBA dealt with this previously with Ron Artest, and it still continues to deal with it with fan interaction, and they'll remove fans from games for certain things. But I've seen multiple times that Russell Westbrook included in that, where fans kind of go too far with the players in
Yep.
terms of what they say, what they do, and in this case. When you see someone, football is a very violent sport, not excusing what he does. His focus should be on the game. But this is being said, and he's the type of person that, uh, well, for lack of better words, you fuck around and find out, right?
Yep.
And DK Metcalf is the guy that you really don't want to do that with. And this fan seems to think like it's okay to do that with him. And I have a big issue with that.
Yeah.
But
I'm with you. So like I love going to live sporting events. It's my favorite thing to do other than going to see live music.
mhm.
And I understand that when you buy a ticket, you're allowed to cheer who you want to, you can boo who you want to. That's all well and good. As somebody that like hates the Yankees, every time I watch them play live, I boo the shit out of them.
Mhm.
But what I'm not going to do is say awful things.
Yeah.
Like and I don't know where this started, but like it's just not it's not called for, man. Like it's
No.
just not. Like
There's a way to do it too. I watched this. There's interviews that David Letterman does with many celebrities on Netflix. There's a bunch of
Oh
seasons
yeah,
to it.
my
Yeah,
next guest.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's got one. I don't know if you've seen the one with Jason Bateman, but it's quite good. And Jason Bateman's a very much a regular. I say regular, but he says he goes to about 30 Dodger games a year and brings his
Sure.
kids, and he always sits behind the visiting dugout or right to the side of it, and he'll boo and kind of heckle some of the players, but he does it in a manner that is kind of funny, where he'll
Yeah.
say stuff like, "Oh, you're," he's like, "Don't get nervous out there. There's not 100 million people watching, only 6 million." Right, and like does stuff where like guys will turn
Yeah,
around
yeah.
and kind of look at him, and like he's getting like a rise out of them, but it's nothing that's like deeply insulting to them.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a reason why this fan feels he needs to do this. I get that. And he's purchased a ticket. And as long as it's within the confines of what is acceptable, I think that's okay. But anytime that it comes to a point where the player is coming over and you're continuing to say that stuff to them, I feel like consequences are in store. And whether that
Also,
means them removing him completely from being a season ticket holder, or him being held accountable or found guilty of harassment in this, I don't know, man. I feel like DK Metcalf lost 45 million plus 45.5 million on this shove for a fan that appears to have a pattern of this type of behavior.
of saying racist things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, you can buy a ticket and boo all you want, but the moment you cross the line and start saying anything homophobic, racist, transphobic, like that's where I have an issue.
Hmm.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
Don't be that guy. Like,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
okay. Like, for instance, I'm okay with my Uncle Roger badgering me. I'm okay with that.
Sure.
But I'm also not a professional athlete that is subjected to that, right? Like, it's something that's
Yeah.
an agreed upon thing between each other, right? He picks on
Yeah.
me. He's in a position of some sort of stature, I guess, where he can look down on me and pick on me, right? Uh,
Well, when your uncle is the probably the 5,000th greatest Myro, that's not he's not in a real position of anything.
Well,
Like,
this is the thing that I want to bring up since we're on the topic, because it needs to be said. There is actually a number that we can associate with him now.
really?
And
Wow.
we didn't have one before, because I feel like that's a little bit of an ancillary number that you're using there, but we do
Sure.
have one that we can use, and that is
Hmm.
number 10. And number 10 is where he finished in the league this year.
Mr. 10th place. Wow.
Mr.
All
10th
right.
place. So,
Yeah.
and that was, let me just double check on that, because I just want to make sure of really how it went down. Yes, it would be 10th place. And John did not get swept 3 games by him this year. John won the last game by 2 points.
Yeah. Oh,
So that's the way it goes sometimes.
yeah.
But
Mr. 10th place. Wow. Okay.
But back to something serious, right? Like, if
Sure.
fans are going to continue to do this, it's going to unfortunately ruin the experience for many other fans who don't do stuff like this. And I don't want to see that happen. Part of my best memories as a kid was my father bringing me to baseball games and being able to meet some of the players and shake their hands, right? Like, get trying to get their autograph. I never went to the stadium as a kid and was thinking to myself, like, how can I harass this player? And granted, this guy's an adult, he knows better.
Yeah.
Now, the other side of it, and the way it was kind of painted, was that DK just came over and decided to slug this guy for no reason. i
Yep.
have i have to imagine, uh and I've seen DK Metcalf fight on the field a lot with players. He doesn't back down from anybody, but I can't imagine that he's going to walk over during the middle of a game for no reason and punch a fan, or take a
Yeah.
swing at him, or push him, try to push him, any of that. I just think I hope it doesn't ruin the viewing experience for everyone else.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that happen.
And from what I also have been reading on the Athletic, like they were talking about how like this fan, like the people around him were like trying to have security like remove this guy.
Remove that. Yeah, I saw that as well. And I think that's a very telling piece in this situation, is if you really weren't doing anything bad, why would people call for your removal or any of that?
Yeah.
And especially in a day where all of this stuff, it comes back to like even the Jamar Chase thing, where like, oh, I didn't spit at that man, right? But it's like on in today's day and age, there's footage of everything, and
Yeah.
many of the people that were around this guy had cameras or phones
Yep.
with them. Everyone's got a camera because everyone's got a phone, but it just all this
Yep.
stuff comes to light. So hopefully we don't have to deal with that stuff going forward. But let's dive into some actual real football talk, right? The Lions, we'll stick with them, right? They got eliminated from the playoffs with just an awful showing against the Vikings, and I think it's a good thing for them because they can start to think about addressing this offensive coordinator position in the offseason, especially a solid offensive coordinator. I think the defense played better this year. Aiden
Yeah.
Hutchinson seemed like he was healthy. They didn't have as many jaw-dropping injuries. On the offensive side, yeah, they lose Laporta. That's something that was not good for them, right? They had linemen that were banged up this year. Hopefully, they can reload and get healthier, and we see a better Lions team this year. But it doesn't seem like this division's going in the opposite way or the way of like the AFC East, right? It
Yeah.
seems like it's getting more difficult for them going forward.
Yeah. The Bears took a step forward. The Packers are who they are. If the Vikings can ever figure out the quarterback situation, they're a tough deal. Like it's rough.
I'll tell you, if the Vikings went out and got a quarterback this year, I wouldn't bat an eye at it. I mean, I know JJ McCarthy. He just seems very fragile, very fragile.
Well, I think it's like what's wild is like with the Vikings, like if they had just kept Sam Darnold, this team's going to the playoffs.
Yeah, man.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, man. I agree. I,
Like they're not winning 14 games again like last year, but they're winning 10 or 11.
yeah, and that puts you in really good position to be able to do that. And maybe they end up beating some of the other, winning some more games this year because of
Look
that.
at I mean, look at Sam Darnold right now. On Sunday, he's going to play for the 1 seed
Yeah,
in
and
the NFC.
no one in the last 2 years has won more games than him.
Yep.
It's crazy the amount of years he spent with the Jets in Carolina that were just brutal. And you look at what's happening for him now. I not a guy I really trust all the time, but I'll tell you, he may surprise a few people. You know,
Even if they had kept Kirk Cousins, like
yeah, man, yeah.
that'll probably would have gotten you 9 wins probably.
I'll tell you, they were really adamant not to go after Aaron Rodgers. Like they came out and were very outspoken about that. But Aaron Rodgers is going to the playoffs this year, and
I don't.
oh, whoa,
That's not a
whoa.
guarantee.
Okay,
That is not a
he has
guarantee.
he has a chance to go to the playoffs,
Yeah, yeah,
which is
yeah.
much better, much further along than I guess
Than the Vikings.
than the Vikings were. So, but the Lions, they just man, it was not good, and I think this is a team that has way too much talent. Uh, them missing the playoffs this year, I think, is a very big disappointment for them.
The Vikings started what I'd like to call a Mad Libs of quarterbacks this year. Like if you just put like they started Carson Wentz at one point.
Mm-hmm.
They started JJ McCarthy, Max Brosmer.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, they have started some weird quarterbacks this year.
yeah. I'm surprised they didn't ring up Philip Rivers and see if he wanted to come in. So
The Colts got him first, so
yeah, I think so. But he would have been available earlier in the year,
yeah,
right? He wanted that
yeah.
health insurance. So,
Gotta keep
uh,
it, baby.
yeah. Moving on, the Broncos, they end up beating the Chiefs to clinch the AFC West, which is kind of like the final nail. Like we knew the Chiefs weren't making the playoffs, but this was like the nail in the coffin that like
Yeah.
officially the Chiefs have not won the AFC West this year. And the Broncos, like I kind of like the way Sean Payton went about it and was like, they asked him about like the gear, and he's like, I heard it was pretty ugly. like
Yeah.
like they were really ugly, and it just shows that this is a team that could give two craps about winning the AFC West. They are on a mission this year, and if it's for them, it's going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That's it.
Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah,
Yep.
anything short of that, especially with this defense and the way that kind of they've been playing, they're not going to go out and score 50 points unless they need to, right? It seems like they play up
Yeah.
or play down to every single team that they play. I expected
They
them to blow out the Chiefs, and they didn't. They didn't,
yeah.
man. So
I'll tell you, they still I mean, this coming week they have to win to be the 1 seed.
right, right.
Except the Chargers are starting Trey Lance, so that's kind of a given, I think. But weirder things have happened.
Yeah.
But I suspect that Denver is going to take care of business on Sunday, and that's going to be that.
If they don't,
I
what I'm worried about is if they don't, and then the Pats somehow fumble it and can't get it done. I don't think that will happen, but I think one of these teams is going to be the 1 seed. Well, obviously,
yeah.
if both teams screw it up, they're going to be. But the Pats, speaking of which, they beat the Jets to clinch the AFC East, which was must have been kind of nice. But again, still, I feel like
I hate the fucking Jets, so it was beautiful to
I
watch.
feel
I
like
hate the Jets.
you guys are playing with house money though, and you're just kind of like,
Oh, we are.
all right, like we're here. Um,
I mean, Drake May's going to win the MVP award, so like that's a thing.
yeah, especially after the way Stafford played last night, I definitely think he's locked it up. And honestly, like yeah, as we mentioned, like if both teams win, the Broncos are still going to be the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
If Denver loses and New England wins, they're going to take the number 1 seed. So it's just it's going to be a lot of teams have stuff to play for this week. Many
Yeah.
teams. Chicago, they win the NFC North, which is just amazing for them. But that game, they didn't win the game and they still won the division, right?
I'm going to say a thing about the Bears, and I can finally admit this. I have been wrong on the Bears all year. I kind of thought they were fraudulent, and then what they did, and they hung with the 49ers. I I think the Bears are going to be a tough out in the playoffs.
So let me ask you this. Do you really think the 49ers are that good?
I mean, they have a good coach, and I think they have good players on offense. Kind of.
I worry
I
about
don't.
them. They definitely do on offense. I worry about them on defense getting after like after any quarterback. I really do. Like Caleb
Yeah,
Williams played spectacular. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm,
yeah.
but Purdy was special in that game.
Purdy, yeah, Purdy was just doing things that you're like,
Purdy was
oh, I
Purdy.
see why you give this guy $55 million. Oh, that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay,
Mm,
cool, got it.
yep.
And I mean, the thing about Brock Purdy is this: like, San Francisco is not a team I want to see in the playoffs. Like, Brock Purdy has brought his team to a Super Bowl and was on the cusp of winning a Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
Yeah.
That's
Barely
that's
lost.
that
Barely. Mhm.
like that's hard to do.
He put it this way: his team was winning when he left the field.
Yep. Yeah, he had done everything possible.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yep, that's not. Yep.
he reminds me a lot of Josh Allen in that. Many times Josh Allen's done everything he possibly can, but they couldn't. They
Also, shout out Brock Purdy bringing the Dougie back. Shout out bringing that back. We love to
yeah
see it.
yeah
Love
that's
to see it.
also I think he did it after that ridiculous spin move touchdown that he had.
As he should have.
Yeah, I wild man.
He was juking dudes out of his shoes, and you look at him, you're like, Brock Purdy, you've never juked anybody out of their shoes. What?
Yeah.
Like,
If I had told you at the beginning of the year that San Francisco would be vying for a 1 seed, they lose Debo, right? Like he's not there.
yeah,
Ayuk wouldn't play it down this year. You'd be like, Oh, and Fred Warner and Bosa are hurt for
are
the
done
year.
for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
Oh, and Mac Jones is going to play 5 games for you.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Still,
And if you had told me that Christian McCaffrey was going to be healthy all year,
Mac Jones is going to play 5 games for you. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey healthy all year, but Mac Jones is going to play 5 games and he's going to beat the Rams in one of those games.
yeah,
Huh, interesting.
yeah.
Interesting. All right.
That just goes to show, like, this, like, overall, like, we've talked about it, like, this season has been a weird season.
It has. I think we talked about Drake May obviously wrapping up the MVP. I can't imagine that you give Coach of the Year to anyone besides Kyle Shanahan. If I mean, how can you?
I think I think you could give it to Mike Vrabel, and I know that's a homer pick. I understand that, but like a team that lost 13 games last season is going to win 13 games this season. Like that's
Yeah, are they going to? Well, it was a very easy schedule. I guess you could make the same argument for Ben Johnson, right? Um,
honestly, you can kind of say the same thing about San Francisco too. Like they played They played a kind of easy schedule.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
you play the games that you play the games that are scheduled.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I'll tell you, just real quick, Vrabel, when he looks mad on the sidelines, it is frightening.
I I I like this game that I play sometimes with myself where I'm like, out of all the current NFL coaches, who would win in a fist fight? And the finals are Vrabel and Dan Campbell.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Definitely. I'll tell you,
Yeah. And I think Campbell has him, but like if that fight's closer than you think it's gonna be.
McDonald is pretty well put together. I don't think he's huge, but McDonald in Seattle, like
Okay, I was I thought you were gonna say
McDaniel.
uh yeah, I was like, what? In
Yeah.
what world is he winning?
Him and Sirianni are getting knocked out so fast. And maybe even Sean McVay, I think, would be like a scrapper. I think he might be like, it'd be
Sean
like,
May
dude, we're gonna call it. We're gonna call the fight. And he's like, no, you're not. Don't throw the towel. Like, I'm going back in.
Sean May is the one that Sean McVay is gonna be the one that's gonna try to poke your eye out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
He'd
because
be
that's all he's got.
he'd be gnawing on your leg, man. He would just,
Yeah.
yeah, anything he could do
He
to
would
win.
bite you for sure. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Speaking of Sirianni, right? The Eagles end up beating the Bills in what was just a snore fest. But I mean, they dropped Buffalo to a 7 seed, which is crazy to think about because that's an extremely dangerous team in the playoffs. Like they're
Which as my favorite team sitting at the 2 right now, I want no part of Buffalo in round 1.
yep,
I want no part of them getting right in the playoffs because of us. Nope.
yeah.
No thanks.
I mean, we're gonna get a playoff preview and future episodes, so I don't want to go too deep into it, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's gonna be scary, man. And after this week, I know we're gonna be texting back and forth nonstop. I'm like, oh my god,
Playoff,
these
baby.
matchups that we got, baby. The Texans, they end up beating the Chargers in a game which was just it was much closer than the playoffs they had last year.
Yeah.
And just I think we got to see what we expected with the Texans, right? The Texans are still vying for a spot in the to win the AFC South. The Jags as well. They came back and beat the Colts. I was kind of shocked to see them losing, but they righted the ship and they looked a lot better towards the end stretch there. But Indy made that a weirdly close game.
I tuned into that game for a little while and
Mhm.
I was just watching Philip Rivers like it was 2007 all over again and I was like, what year is
Yeah.
this?
Yep.
Like, like dude can still kind of play.
Yeah. He doesn't look good, but he could still play. I
Yeah.
mean,
Like he could give you a half.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, both the Jags and the Texans are going to be playing their lesser division opponents in Tennessee and Indy this week, so that should determine the AFC South. But obviously, if Jags win, they win. If they lose and Houston wins, Houston has a chance to take the South, which I know they're dying for a home game. They definitely are, but that is a very lethal team if they go on the road.
Houston's the team in the AFC right now. I want no part of.
Yep.
Houston and Denver. I want no part of either of those teams,
Yep.
and I suspect we're gonna see one of them at some point. And like
Yeah.
that's
And that's if you don't get Buffalo in the first round.
yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
I'm just loving it. It's almost like a like a conveyor belt. Which team is going to drop and float to the bottom? Because all of these teams are going to be going in like they could all switch around just in this week
And
in
even like
terms
the
of places.
Chargers, you think about the Chargers, like they've been playing really well. They have a pretty good defense, and they will run the ball down your throat.
Yeah, they will.
Like
Omari and Hampton's feeling better, right? Like he's healthy.
they have a two-headed running back monster in with the Chargers. That's scary. Like the AFC is a minefield to get through this year.
Yeah.
Like if you come out of the AFC, good for you.
No,
You have just been through a war.
none of those teams do I, and we talked about this last week, but none of those teams do I feel like this is an unbeatable team, right?
Exactly.
We've always had these teams like the Chiefs or the Pats or
The
even
Colts.
a Colts
Some of the Colts teams.
a
Yep.
few years, but they proved pretty easy to take down at some points. But there's no team that I feel like in the league right now can't be beat.
Yeah.
You could tell me that Carolina ends up in the NFC Championship game if they win their division, right? But like you could
Yeah.
tell me that, and I don't know, man. I'd say okay, crazy, but
Yeah, I suspect too when we do our playoff episode, I suspect this is going to be one of those weird years. Do you remember that weird Super Bowl when it was Arizona Pittsburgh and it was like a
yeah.
weirdly good game that like came down to the last like 30 seconds?
With who was it? James.
James
Oh,
Harrison
James
had the pick six.
Harrison. Oh my God, seeing a man that big run that fast, wild,
Yeah.
wild. I
If you
mean,
want to watch a fun video about James Harrison, he talks about that and he talks about like him being like, well, I got to the 50 and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to go another 50 yards.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He is. He's a frightening human being. The
Yeah.
way he works out, I didn't know people could work out that way.
Yeah.
It's intense.
But I think
Um,
you're gonna. I think that's how weird this year has been. Is like you're gonna get weird. You're gonna get a weird Super Bowl,
you
and like
definitely
I'm
will.
ready for it.
Yeah, me too, man. I just want to see good football. I got some vacation coming up. I'm
Hmm.
definitely staying up late for those games, and I
Yes,
cannot
sir.
wait to watch a ton of playoff
Yeah.
football. This is the first year that I'm going to be able to enjoy, like I say enjoy, but like not have to go somewhere for vacation. Last year it was Japan. The year before I came back to the
Yeah.
States. Like this year I could stay put and stay up all night and just watch these games. I really can't wait, man.
I'm just really excited, especially wild card weekend when there's like multiple games on Saturday, multiple games on Sunday.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be really good.
You get
Um,
the wings. You got to get the wings ready.
yeah, I've got to figure out what I'm going to be cooking for that. I cannot wait, dude. I want to make some ridiculous food. I definitely
I
do.
think I've been toying with the idea of making a chili dip with some like
Ooh,
cream cheese, some chili. Oh yeah.
I
Hmm.
really want to do that sounds amazing. I'm thinking about like a buffalo chicken dip.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I
Um
see you.
in the slow cooker, just keeping that going, or maybe I do it in
Mm,
the pan. I don't know. We need to
mm.
talk about that next week for the playoff
Yeah.
preview
Yes, sir.
because people need to know
How we're gonna go about
yeah,
this?
you
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
know how you're going to do
yeah,
it. The players are preparing, we're preparing.
yeah,
So,
yeah. This is
uh,
this part of the season that we're gonna be locked and loaded.
yeah, we do. We
We gotta
don't.
be dialed
Yeah,
in. We gotta be dialed in.
We are dialed and ready to go, man. We
Yeah,
cannot. If they're showing up and giving their full effort, we're going to as well. And those that haven't done it before, you're in for a treat. You're in
yeah.
for a treat.
And
Uh,
like we have partners, and like they have to understand like this is our time. This is a stretch of time where like I just need to be at my best,
I
and
need.
like
Yeah, I need
you're
to
gonna
be.
see me eat food in a way that like is gonna be kind of alarming to you.
Could make many people in the room uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The
Um.
way I eat a chicken wing, hoo, 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 boy, makes a grown man blush.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh, that's for Uncle Raj, that one there.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Mr. 10th place.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the Ravens, they end up smashing the Packers behind just an absolutely like circa 2001 I'm sorry, 2021 game from Derrick Henry. I mean, where he goes off, man.
It's weird because it just seemed like, oh, hey, we have Derrick Henry. Maybe we should just keep running the ball and like that'll work. And the Ravens scored 41 points.
Yeah. Weird.
And what's wild too is like the Packers never punted. And they just got their shit kicked in.
Yeah. Real
Because
bad.
like respectfully, like if they have Micah Parsons, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Because Micah Parsons is tackling Derrick Henry.
He's not particularly great at the run, but he's someone you need to account for, right? Like
Sure. Yeah.
it's just I don't know. I felt like their defense just got gashed. It was kind of embarrassing, man. When you get
Eh,
run over like that, and Henry's a guy that in the cold weather, like I mean, there wasn't going to be a good place for them to try to tackle him, right? They're
Yeah.
playing either in Baltimore or Green Bay in the winter time, right?
Yeah.
The ground's cold. He's a guy that gets better as he gets more carries in the game. And towards the end of the game where you're beat up, you just can't tackle him, man. It's just he just
They
wins.
they had a drive where they ran it seven, I think it was like seven straight times
Yeah. And
and
he
got
doesn't
all the way
seem
down the
tired.
field.
He doesn't
Yeah.
even seem to get tired. It's just
Well, he spends like $1 million a year on the off. You've seen the off-season training stuff he does.
yeah.
You're just like, oh, you're insane.
Yeah, he gets his body right. The way we get
Yeah.
our body right for the playoffs, he's doing that year round,
Yes, sir.
in a healthy way. Um,
Hmm.
but the Browns end up beating the Steelers, which it just was like a laughable game, right? Like first of all, like Miles Garrett, and he did you hear what he said after the game?
Yeah.
It was so true. They spent more time focused on him than they did winning the game, and it's true, man. Like, I mean, he's a nightmare to deal
There's a
with.
world where he doesn't get the sack record. That makes me sad.
He's going to next year. I don't. If he stays healthy, I have a hard time believing that he won't be able to set the record for sacks someday.
I thought this was going to be the year, though. He was at like what? Like he had like 6 games to go to like tie the record or like beat the record. And they just, yeah, man.
Yeah,
It's
it hasn't been great. He's kind of thrown up duds the last 2 weeks, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the Ravens and Steelers, they're gonna play in Week 18 here to decide the a winner takes
on
all
a
game.
Sunday night too,
Which
which we love to see.
yeah, they
Love to
flexed
see.
they flexed that, didn't they? Yeah,
They did. Yeah, Sunday night.
yeah, it's I think that's just an excellent way to make and Goodell has to love this, right? Like this is nothing but a thumbs up for the NFL. Not only having one game this way, but a second one in the NFC as well. So
And this is why I love that they all played their divisional opponents like in the last week of the season.
yeah,
I love that.
it's
Like,
really important, and these games really do matter. They really
yep.
do, man. The Seahawks they end up beating Carolina, which was a little bit closer than I thought, but maybe
Yeah.
Carolina is capable of hanging with these teams, right?
Well,
It's
my favorite thing about Carolina is that, and this is all we always tie this back to Kirk Cousins, but Atlanta winning last night now puts Tampa in this position, or actually it puts Carolina in a position. If they win or it doesn't matter if they win or lose on Saturday, as long as Atlanta beats New Orleans on Sunday, they're in. Carolina's in.
ah, I did not realize that.
Atlanta beating the Rams had huge implications last night. Huge implications.
Why did it have such big implications though? I don't understand that. So because if Carolina loses,
Because
Tampa Bay wins.
Carolina holds the tiebreaker over both Atlanta and Tampa. If they
Ah,
yeah,
okay. So even if the
yeah,
Bucks win and beat Carolina, there's no guarantee they get in.
correct. Absolutely correct. It
Oh my
all
God.
rests on Kirk Cousins. We love to see that. Love to see that.
That is amazing, dude. I I
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
I can't wait, man. I just man, that is crazy to think about that that's going to happen. And I guess I wasn't fully aware of that,
Oh yeah.
which makes it even better. Makes it
Yeah, I was watching the Rams game last night and being like, "Oh my god, this is going to happen."
yeah.
Oh my god, like and the Rams can't win the division at this point. Like the best they can like they're going to go on the road to start the playoffs,
Yeah.
which is wild to think about a month ago when we thought the Rams were the best team in the league.
That I'll tell you it could be very interesting to see how it's gonna end up playing out for
Yeah.
this because the Rams aren't a team that I think teams wanna play either.
No. Well, McVay said it best in the press conference after the game last night. He's like,
Mhm.
"This league humbles you real quick," and he's right.
It
Like,
does. I mean, I think with Devontae there, I don't think I think he's a matchup nightmare for teams, man. And but there's no guarantee that he's going to be healthy. I think that's why they kept him out was because they
yeah,
said, "Hey, we think we could do this without him. We want to make sure he's good for the playoffs, right? We don't want to get him injured." Uh, but I don't know. It's
yeah. I bet you they don't start him Sunday either. I'll bet any amount of money they don't start him on Sunday.
yeah,
They just rest him, and they're like, "Cool, we'll see you in the playoffs."
yeah. I don't think they need him right now, right? Like
No.
it's what do
Well,
they
they
have
need
to
him for the
lose?
playoffs.
They
They
do.
need him.
They need him for the playoffs, but they don't lose anything by losing on Sunday, do they?
Correct.
They're
No.
still into the playoffs. They don't have to worry about that piece of it.
Yeah.
I mean Seattle with them winning and beating Carolina and San Francisco winning over Chicago, like that's both teams are going to play to determine who's going to win the NFC West and the number one seed. Which
Yeah.
isn't it amazing
Is
how
insane.
Sam Darnold in another game like this again, back-to-back seasons where not only it's for all the chips, man. Push them all to the middle of the table.
I'm going to tell you something right now. I think San Francisco wins that game.
You know what's nuts? If they do, and Seattle gets knocked out in the first round of the playoffs, I don't know what kind of I don't know what that does to Sam Darnold mentally.
Yeah. Also, I mean, look at it this way too. Well, not with Sam Darnold, but like San Francisco gets the 1 seed. You know where the Super Bowl's being played this year?
San Francisco, they won't
You
play
got it, baby.
as long as they win. They'll never play a game in the playoffs outside of home.
Nope.
Could you
Nope.
imagine? That's nuts. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Man, we got some crazy, crazy games to be able to watch this week.
And Saturday games too.
Yeah,
I
which
love when they're Saturday. There's Saturday. Oh, I love when they're Saturday football.
I do too.
Just delights me to no end.
I do. I do too. Um, sad part about football, fantasy has come to an end.
Thank God. Thank God. This was a miserable fucking season
Yeah,
for you and I.
the amount of stress that that's put on this year, it was not comfortable. It wasn't comfortable, man.
I feel like I spent every week on Sunday night and Monday night sweating out games.
Yeah.
And that's not fun.
Nope.
That's not fun.
Not fun at all. I finished last in the Bennett League, not by choice. But
No. It's a rough, tough sledding for you, man. Tough
yeah,
sledding.
yeah, and we talked about it before, but literally my first four picks in the draft this year spent the majority of the season, not majority, but a long time injured. It was
Yep.
CeeDee Lamb, Drake London, Lamar, and Marvin Harrison Jr. All of them missed a lot of time
Yeah.
this year, and it just all of them had very promising seasons ahead of them, and it just didn't work out. And
Yeah.
sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles, man. Um,
That's fantasy, man.
yeah,
I finished ninth in the Bennett League and I somehow won the 9-10 game, scoring 76 points, which I'm embarrassed to admit.
yeah,
And and if you're wondering, wow, 76 points, you must have had some real terrible players on your team. No, no, I started Jameer Gibbs. I
hmm
started Jalen Hurts. Yeah, no, I started real legitimate players. And
they just didn't
I
go
started
well.
Kyle Pitts because you know what Kyle Pitts had done the last 2 weeks in fantasy?
Yeah.
Crushed it.
Hey, don't forget next year. Just plug in my PSA right now. Jalen Hurts,
Draft Kyle
AJ
Pitts.
Brown, Kyle Pitts. Draft them
I
all.
will not. I will not draft Jalen Hurts next year.
You
I will
better.
not do it. I
Um,
will not.
our buddy John unfortunately lost in the finals, and our hat goes. We tip our hat to him just because.
I reached out to him this morning and I was like, "Hey man, tough break." And he's like, "Yeah, just it's the way it happens."
Sometimes it
The
goes that way.
guy he was playing, Drake May threw for 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, yeah. And listen, John had a good team this year. He definitely had a legit shot, and it
He
just
was the best team in our league all year.
yeah, it didn't work out. I also lost in the championship in my other league, and I was the best team all year. And it
Yep.
was sad, but it happens. And all my studs were duds, man. And sometimes that goes. I had Jalen Hurts and Jameer Gibbs as well.
Yep.
Puka, I can't rely on him every single week, but I made some good decisions in championship week. Uh, I didn't start Luther Burden, which I probably should have because he popped off. But listen, like that's the way it goes sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And it was just kind of a weird season. I put up like a lot of points this year, so it's sad because a lot of work goes into it, but also you have to get kind of lucky as well.
Yep.
Um, but my buddy James Ritchie, I want to give him a shout out. He won not only my 12 team half PPR league in dramatic fashion, but he also won the Guillotine League the same way. He was
Wow.
down the first week of Guillotine, and we do a 3 week rotisserie playoff the last 3 weeks between four teams. Uh, he, on a coin flip, he started Rasheed Rice instead of, I think it was Trey McBride, and Trey McBride popped off, and Rasheed Rice did nothing. And so he was really behind the eight ball on that, and then ended up grinding out the second week, did fairly well, and then was within 20 points going into the third week and ended up scoring enough points to win.
Which you and I offline talked about that. And you're like 20 points, man. That's a hard gap to like because I thought Sauce had it wrapped up
Yep,
in
me
our
too.
team league. I
Me too.
really did.
And Sauce is the one that beat me in the other championship game in the other league. So he needed, it was
Yeah.
funny. He had Kyle Pitts going, I had Puka Nakua, and in Guillotine, Sauce had Puka Nakua going. So he's like, all right. And he did the math in his head because he's a math whiz. He's like, all right, so I need Puka to score 21 points. And if he can do that, then I'll win both leagues. And I'm like, that way he doesn't score too many so that you win, and he scores enough for me to win in the Geet. I'm like, oh man. So it was yeah. That's
Yeah.
what happens when you're a pharmacy major, right? So
Yeah.
it happens. But till next year, my book will be coming out for Uncle Roger, because I know he needs some
Yeah.
help. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else you
Like
want to
like
say?
like Sean McVay said about the NFL being humbling. Fantasy football is real humbling sometimes.
It definitely is. It definitely is.
Real humbling.
Oh, it's a way to let us know we're just not that good, right?
No, but you're
Uh,
right though. Like the season will end. I'll take some time off, and then around like April or May, I'll start getting the itch, and I'll start putting the prep work in and the research, and we'll go from there.
and this wall will be covered again with
Yep.
great information. So
And then on one random Saturday or Sunday in August, it's just me for 6 hours, just being like, "What the fuck? Come on, I wanted that guy." It's
yeah,
it's a lot of that, and I
yeah,
can't wait for that.
yeah.
It's one of the highlights of my year every year.
It's literally one of the best days of the year doing that.
Oh God.
It is. Oh man. Well, listen. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up. We will be back next week with a playoff episode. And so we're really hoping that it's gonna be awesome, and we're gonna have some great teams in here. A lot of shifting around that has the potential within the next week here, but we'll be back next week to crush it with you guys.
Yes, sir.
All right. Until then, I love you,
All right.
bro.
I love you too. Peace.
Peace.